Everyone knows all the classic meal times of the day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. But did you know in Vietnam's once ancient capital, Hue, there is a fourth meal? And it gives us quite the interesting insight into the culture of what was once Vietnam's capital. It's 3 p.m. in Hue, right in the middle between lunch and dinner time. The sun's beating, the streets are quiet, when all of a sudden, from outside your window, you hear the Hue aunties, called aw in the local vernacular. They come with their baskets of food and they're advertising, calling out. All the locals that hear it recognize the call immediately. It's time for bữa lỡ, which I admit is really kind of hard to translate. So let's just call it the middle meal. But this isn't a meal that they plan to have. They just have it when they hear the call. Can you guess what food it is? You've probably heard of it before if you know about Central Vietnamese food. But enough talking, let's present it. Ta-da! These are light food items, all bite-sized, light in fat, protein, nutrition. Also, it won't affect dinner time. So let's just do it right up. First off, I want to show you the bánh bột lọc right here. It's made with a tapioca starch and bánh bột lọc. How it got its name is because of its kind of clarity, because lọc means kind of refined clarity right here. So as you can see, it's a lot more clear than the rest of the items. The other ones are more white. Typically, it's served on a banana leaf like this. So all you want to do is just grab some of this fish sauce right here. You start pouring it on, pouring it on, pouring it on. All right. So first, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat it right here. And what you have on the inside is the shrimp and pork. I love it because they put ma hành, scallion oil, and fried onions on it. Beautiful. There's great textures all around. Because the shrimp on the inside is almost kind of dry, but everything else is chewy. The outside is chewy. The thing about eating these kinds of dishes is that it's not about feeling full. It's about, as the article said, chống buồn miệng, which means essentially to prevent having a bored mouth. Yes, a bored mouth. This one right here is the bánh ram ít. On top is what you have is called the bánh ít. This is kind of a sticky rice. And on the bottom is bánh ram. Bánh ram is a fried sticky rice. I take a bite first, you guys. It's as good as you think it is. Now, this one is filled with something similar. It's filled with pork. And again, you have these little kind of like shrimp bits on top. Delicious, you guys. And it's such a nice texture. You got chewiness on top. That balances out with the crunchiness in the bottom. Bang, bang. Delicious, you guys. Let's get a little bit more. Now going back to that term, chống buồn miệng, prevent having a bored mouth. I remember my aunts using a similar term. I remember one time they were offering me a snack, right? And I was like, oh, no, I'm full. And they replied to me saying, oh, ăn cho vui thôi, which essentially means, oh, just eat it for fun, like eat for fun. And in my mind during that moment, I just thought, wow, Vietnamese people really made it. My parents almost told me these stories about how like back when they were in Vietnam, they would be starving, they wouldn't have enough to eat. And now look at us now, they're eating for fun. Vietnamese people out here, ăn cho vui thôi. Next up, let's take it to right here, the bánh bèo. Some people's most favorite. Now this actually got its name after Vietnamese duckweed. No, not duckweed, duckweed. As you can see, it's still made from kind of like a rice tapioca flour starch, and they put the little shrimp bits on it and fried pork skin on top. So let's just go ahead and use a spoon to eat this. Normally it'll come in a little dish and you just scoop it out, but this thing is so simple, but still so good. I love these things that are similar to each other, but what makes it really stand out is just its texture. Like this thing is so like nice and soft and thin, right? But on top of it, the shrimp is just added like a nice little like kind of like, you ever eat Pop Rocks? And here's the thing, it's soft, not necessarily chewy, but it just kind of like goes into your mouth really nice and easy. Bánh bèo was definitely one of my favorites for sure. It's just a really nice soft texture to it, so fluffy, and it's just so nice. The pork skin, the fried pork skin, always gonna be good. And speaking of being so like soft and thin, Fun fact, bánh bèo is actually a Vietnamese slang word for a girl who's kind of overly feminine, weak-willed, and high maintenance. And lastly, we have the bánh nậm, which is probably my favorite. And again, I think it's similar to bánh bèo in a way, is that the ingredients are the same essentially. It's kind of this grounded up the shrimp. And this one actually has a little bit of pork in it. But what's cool about this is just that it's my favorite because it's the texture. You see these items, it's about texture, you know what I'm saying? Oh, right here. Let's get it, you guys. Bomb as ever, guys. This is not as thin as this bánh bèo, but it's not as soft. I like it because it's a little like kind of thicker, a little chewier, but not necessarily chewy, just a little bit chewier than the bánh bèo. I remember the first time I saw this too. My dad microwaved it, and the moment I looked at it, I swear I was like 6 years old, but when I saw it wrapped in that banana leaf, I knew I was gonna like it. It just, they gave me something I was just hooked on after that. Like, it's one of my favorites. Bánh nậm, one of my absolute favorites, you guys. I need a bite of this. Delicious. Here's another cool thing about this kind of meal, bula, is that it was enjoyed by all classes of people, especially the laborers who needed a little extra energy to get through their work. From the outside perspective, bula could just be seen as snack time. But I think to the people of Hue, it means more than that. It's a part of their culture. It's a capital culture. Now, I'm gonna leave you guys off with a quote from this one book called Ẩm thực Việt Nam và Thế giới, Cuisine of Vietnam and the World. It says, Người Hue ăn lấy hương, lấy hoa. Literally just means that Hue people just eat for the fragrance, for the flowers. Essentially meaning that they just eat to enjoy, not to be full. That's the thing with all of these. It's not about eating it to get full, because it's that middle meal. You don't want to affect dinner time, right? So they just eat it for fun. And that makes sense, given that it's the capital. It's where all the abundance is, right? So they just eat for fun. But until then, guys, that's all I have for today. I'll see you all next time.